Venomous snakes, spiders that'll make you say nope, and the deadliest creature to call Australia home, today on Dynamite TV. Due to the overwhelming amount of information that is going into this video, I've decided to break it up into two parts, so here we go. And please excuse me if I sound a little bit nasally. I'm a bit under the weather, however the show must go on.
You're watching Dynamite TV.
Up first is the white-tailed spider. This spider calls southern and eastern Australia home. It gets its name from the white tips at the end of its abdomen. The typical size of this spider is 18 millimeters, with a leg span of 28 millimeters. They are what is called a vagrant spider, which means that they hunt for their prey rather than spinning a web and catching it. Their meal of choice is other spiders. However, they have been known to bite humans, which causes symptoms such as swelling and itchy reactions at the site of the bite. There are two common species of this spider. Both are similar in how they look, however the females are much larger. As I said, both of these species live in Australia and can be found anywhere from Western Australia, Tasmania, South Australia, Victoria, Queensland, and New South Wales. They prefer to live around the houses and underneath the bark and rocks, as well as gardens. They do not make webs and prefer to hunt at night for other spiders, which is their favorite delicacy, such as brown house spiders and also black house spiders, which are both found primarily in Australia. This spider's bites look much like any insect bite, appearing as itchy and inflamed red-colored little bumps. The major side effects from being bitten by this spider are generally local, which means it doesn't affect any other parts of the body that weren't directly attacked. These symptoms include red markings, skin irritations, puffy swelling, and with more serious cases, causing headaches, vomiting, and nausea. Ulcers and necrosis have been said to be reactions to the bite. However, this was likely due to the media's spin on it when reporting of necrotizing arachnidism, which led to the bad reputation of this spider. The talk of necrosis all started with a presentation that was given in 1982 at the annual International Society on Toxicology World Congress, which is held in Brisbane. At the time, it was suspected that spider bite necrosis were the cause of wolf spiders and white-tailed spiders. The recluse spider was being identified in Brazil and was also connected to necrosis. Thereafter, many more cases of ulcers began to surface, implying that the white-tailed spider to be the culprit. But every one of these cases lacked the proper evidence. Furthermore, there was never a case in the past 200 years of the European colonization of Australia that showed the sign prior to this case. According to the studies, over 60% of the people that have been bitten were from spiders that found their way into people's beds or people's clothing. Next is the red-bellied black snake. In eastern Australia is where this snake resides, and while its bite is the least venomous of all Australian deadly snakes, and is usually not fatal, it can be found in the swamplands, forest, and wetlands of eastern Australia. Considered to be the most well-known snake, and can also be common near urban areas along the east coast, and they have an average length of as much as 2 meters. Their noses tend to be a light brown color with a gloss black back with red to pink shades on their underside. They are often seen near bodies of water like streams or dams. These snakes are not thought to be an aggressive species. In fact, when they're provoked, will threaten with a striking stance, but are likely to attempt to flee at the first chance. Their primary source of food are small mammals, reptiles, and frogs. However, they are known to eat other snakes, even their own kind. If you are attacked by this snake, however, its bite is rarely life-threatening, and you will still want to seek medical attention, which is usually in the form of tiger snake antivenom. This is because it costs less to produce and can be administered in lower doses so as to be less likely to cause a reaction. The toadfish. The toadfish is an umbrella name for a range of species of different fish given to them for their appearance and the ability to make noises from their swim bladders. There are two that are native to Australia, the banded toadfish and the smooth toadfish, and they are known for their spines on their gill covers and dorsal fins, which inject venom and leave wounds that are pretty painful. Tiger snake. This snake can be found in the southern area of Australia in the subtropical regions and are most active on warmer nights. Creeks, wetlands, and coastal environments is where they are often found. In fact, their distribution includes New South Wales, Victoria, and Western Australia. If threatened, this snake will use venom to subdue its prey, and it might be likely to bite offenders. The symptoms of a tiger snake bite include pain in the feet and neck, sweating, numbness, tingling, and usually is followed by difficulties in breathing and paralysis. If untreated, the mortality rate has been reported to be between 40 and 60%. Thankfully, the frequency of fatal incidences from tiger snakes have been significantly reduced thanks to the availability of antivenom. If you find yourself in the path of a tiger snake, think twice before trying to kill it, because this species is protected by law, and you could potentially be facing fines as much as $7,500, as well as 18 months in jail in some states. The funnel web spider. Native to Australia, this spider's bite could be deadly. However, there have been no fatalities since modern antivenom and first aid practices. This subfamily contains over 30 different species, all of which are native to Australia. The average size of these spiders are a couple centimeters. The fangs of these spiders are angled straight down and are powerful enough to penetrate shoes or fingernails, for example. Funnel web spiders are most likely to make their home in cool and moist or sheltered habitats such as under rocks or under rotting logs, and even occasionally in suburban shrubs, as opposed to open areas. They can be found anywhere on the east coast of Australia and have been recorded in Queensland, South Australia, New South Wales, and Victoria. In fact, the only territories they are not found is in Western Australia and the Northern Territory. The bite of this spider is most painful because of the size of the fangs, and if they administer a lot of venom, symptoms can occur within minutes and rapidly progress. These symptoms include twitching, salivation, elevated blood pressure, increased heart rate, watery eyes, goosebumps, and tingling sensations near the mouth and tongue. Worst cases include shortness of breath, vomiting, nausea, confusion, agitation, muscle spasms, and even extreme hypertension, with the final stages leading to unconsciousness and uncontrolled generalized muscle twitching and even death. The time period of these symptoms can occur within 15 minutes to 3 days. Due to the severity and speed at which these symptoms progress, all bites from large black spiders should be treated as though they were caused by funnel web spiders, and medical treatment should be sought out as quickly as possible. Antivenom is effective against the bites from all species of funnel web spiders. The box jellyfish. Named as such because of their cube shape, the box jellyfish produces very painful stings that can be fatal to humans. Another common name for the box jellyfish is a sea wasp. In Australia, the fatalities are usually caused by the largest species of jellyfish. Their venom has been known to cause potassium leakage, which may lead to cardiovascular collapse and death as quickly as 2 to 5 minutes. 64 deaths have been reported since 1883, and in most recently in Australia have been children due to their small size. In fact, of the 62 cases that have occurred before 1996, all but 2 of them have been hospitalized for less than a day after being stung, which is often why they're also referred to as the sucker punch of the sea. That, and also the fact that you don't feel the sting until it's already too late and the venom is injected. Oh yeah, and jellyfish are basically transparent, so there's also that. It's said that October and May are the 2 months with the highest risk, and mostly in calm waters with a breeze over shore. However, reports have been recorded in all months and conditions abroad. Contrary to popular belief, there is no scientific evidence that backs up the idea that ammonia on the wound is going to curb those sting feels, so don't go peeing on yourself or someone else just yet. Not even hydrogen peroxide, creams, lemon juice, or alcohol is going to be effective. So much so that these things could even make the situation worse. Instead, the most efficient way to flush out and neutralize the stingers is with the help of vinegar. In fact, you will often see emergency vinegar accessible on beaches in the regions one might cross box jellies. The best way to prevent having to go through any of that, though, has been found to be, get this, to wear pantyhose underneath a wetsuit. This is due to the fact that the stingers are triggered by the oils on skin. Stingray. Rays are relatives to the shark family, and most are equipped with one, sometimes more than one, barbed stinger, often on the tail for self-defense, that measures often around 14 inches long, with venom glands residing on the underbody of these creatures. And since they cannot see their prey, it is their sense of smell they utilize, as well as electroreceptors, just like sharks, while hiding just beneath the sand. If you perhaps accidentally step on one, the experience will be painful, complete with muscle cramps, swelling, and the risk of infection by bacteria or fungus if not treated. Thankfully, these instances are rarely life-threatening, unless in the case of it puncturing a vital organ. Such was the fate of the late and great Steve Irwin in 2006. This was because the barb broke off into his body and caused massive trauma. The best way to avoid an encounter with a stingray is to throw stones in front of you, or to even wade in the water in such a way that spooks them from their hiding beneath your path. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Please leave comments below as to what you think the most deadliest creature is going to be. Also, hitting the like button helps out, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos just like this. Blue ring octopus. Found mostly in tide pools and on coral reefs near northern West Australia and South Australia, they are considered the world's most venomous marine animals around, and are surely dangerous to humans that may provoke or attempt to handle one, because the venom is more than harmful enough to kill. You could spot them out by the black rings and yellow tone of skin. However, if they are agitated, the rings begin to pulsate a blue color. Their diet consists of mostly shrimp and crabs, as well as the occasional fish if they manage to catch it and pull it towards their mouth that resembles that of a bird's beak, which can penetrate the shell of a crab or shrimp and also releases toxins that cause a paralyzing effect on the muscles required to move, which effectively kills its prey. What's more, they use camouflage to hide until they are provoked, which is when their color changing occurs. Otherwise, they spend most of their time hiding inside of crevices much smaller than their normal size because of their ability to change their shape. An attack from this octopi often results in heart failure, nausea, and respiratory arrest if not treated within minutes. Death is usually the cause of the diaphragm being paralyzed, and this same toxin is also found in pufferfish, and it's known to be more powerful than cyanide. Granted, their first instinct is to swim away, but if they continue to feel in danger, they will attack. This concludes part 1 of 16 deadly Australian creatures. Please be sure to check back soon, as I hope to have part 2 up very soon. And thank you for tuning in. I'm a snake. I'm a snake.
Watching Dynamite TV.